Hello, my name is Kevin Ramirez, and I'm here to give my persuasive speech on why the death penalty should be abolished. By a show of hands through your monitor, how many of you believe that the death penalty is an okay punishment? I assume most of you don't have an opinion on it, but I often think about it myself, and I happen to think that it's just an incorrect way to punish criminals. I'm here to discontinue the idea that the death penalty is okay. But I would like for my audience, as in you, the viewer, after hearing my speech, to oppose the death penalty just like me. Before I start, I'm here to talk about the extremity of the punishment, how it's hypocritical to the justice system, and how no crime warrants the death penalty. When talking about the extremity of the punishment, it includes death. Such ways of killing the prisoner include beheading, electrocution, hanging, lethal injection, and shooting. This brings up problems whenever you think about how it in general isn't ethically correct and how 1 out of 10 death row inmates are innocent. Since 1973, 184 death row prisoners have been released due to innocence or have been exonerated. This, compared to the 8,500 since the 1970s that have been put on death row, that means 1 out of 10 are exonerated. Killing the innocent is an irreversible punishment, and it can't be reversed. The death penalty is hypocritical to the justice system because we cannot teach killing that is wrong by killing others. This is a direct quote from the U.S. Catholic Conference. It's hypocritical to a fair justice system because of how death row inmates are convicted. Most death row inmates are convicted based on a classist system or the racial backgrounds. Proponents of death penalty say it's cost effective. Where was I at? Or racial backgrounds. Hypocritical to the justice system. It's hypocritical to the justice system because of how poor racial backgrounds. This is not a fair way of punishing criminals, especially after I've just stated that most of them, well, not most of them, a percentage of them are usually innocent. This brings to the counter argument that it deters crime and preserves law and is cost effective. The argument is an eye for an eye, helping the victims. But a closer look at it, it just reveals that it just gives the government the power to take away human life. Something that just isn't correct to do. After hearing my speech, I can't imagine most of you would agree. But by a show of hands, how many of you do agree? Yikes. In conclusion, the death penalty is quite extreme in how your choice of death just are pretty violent, and they sound like they hurt. It's not exactly death row inmates aren't exactly like chosen based off like a fair system, meaning someone innocent can be killed and most likely has been killed. And it really doesn't deter crime. It doesn't stop crime. It hasn't, like, since the 1970s, it still hasn't basically, like, it hasn't been like finished. Like the death penalty hasn't been of no need anymore. These crimes still continue to occur and the punishment is still needed. It isn't needed. I personally believe that jail time is far more severe to the criminal than losing their life. Maybe someday the abolishment of the death penalty will be more achievable, but as of today, and looking at how it's an incorrect system, I believe it'll be sooner. Yeah.